Hey, so California has a reputation of being a very expensive and difficult market to actually own and operate real estate. And it's getting more and more challenging by the day with new bills, new laws, new regulations, and just crazy new policies that just come out of nowhere and really impact landlords and investors. This new bill that Mark Zuckerberg is donating heavily to would essentially bankrupt tens of thousands of property owners and landlords throughout the entire state, all for his benefit, so he can essentially run out there and scoop up all these undervalued assets. Meanwhile, all these people will lose their properties. And it's going to be pretty scary. If this actually passes, it's going to turn into one of those. It's interesting too, because a lot of people think that if there's landlords going bankrupt and developers going bankrupt, that it's actually a good thing and they deserve it because they're greedy landlords. Well, the reality is most landlords are simply mom and pop. They own a building, two buildings. They hold on to it. They're not making a killing on it. They're just holding on and doing okay. But if you have Facebook and you have these big corporations that are actually owning and buying all these properties, you thought things were bad before. Wait till they become the owner and they increase rents every single year as much as they can, try to charge you and penny pinch you for everything, and it just have no soul. Well, that's what's going to happen if these big corporations like Facebook run out there and get this bill passed. So I'm going to teach you what happens and how it works in this video. John here as well for all my new subscribers. Please hit that like button to push this content out to more people so they can learn about real estate and pretty much what's going on, because things are changing every single day. And hit the subscribe button if you intend to buy real estate or invest in the next year or two. I think we're going to go into a really big recession. I think there's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for buying and investing very soon, and you don't want to miss out on new content that can help you make a smart and informed decision. All right, guys, let's begin. So it's been a very difficult year for business owners, for landlords, for just about everybody on planet Earth. 2020 has been a hell of a year. But this new bill essentially would bankrupt what's left of California. And I'm going to explain pretty much what happened, why California is in such a delicate position right now, and why this bill essentially is going to ruin what culture we have left of California. So first and foremost, this eviction moratorium that's been mandated, it gives people 12 months to pay back their back rent. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you rented an apartment for me January 1st, 2020, and then you paid $2,000 a month. So January, February, March, then the pandemic started March. So you stopped paying April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Let's just say it's over January 1, just for easy math. That's 9 months, 9 times $2,000 is $18,000 in back rent. Me being the landlord, I can't force you to pay during the pandemic. So basically I have to offer you a 0% interest loan, and the next month after the pandemic, all you have to pay is 25% of the rent. And if you pay 25%, which is $500 of $2,000, you pay that for January, and then you have a 12-month extension to pay me back the $18,000. The reality is most people, when they move to Los Angeles, they find a good job. That good job is paying a great salary. And even with that great salary, 50% of their income generally goes to rent. So if they lost their job, it's going to be very unlikely they're going to be able to go out there and secure a great new job at the same rate or higher, especially in this depressed economy where many employers are laying people off, they're outsourcing talent, and they're downsizing. So it's going to be a huge market for employers to find talent, and it's going to be a buyer's market. I think, if anything, wages will likely go down, not go up in the near future. So that being said, you're going to have a lot of tenants unable to pay. So if that is the case and they're leaving, landlords like me will have a very hard time collecting. If the tenant doesn't have money, they don't have a job, what can I do? Ultimately, not much. So there's going to just be a huge loss for property owners. So this new bill, so now that that's in context, this new bill would increase property taxes dramatically. So let's say that you own a laundromat. It's like a little downstairs laundromat with a couple units above. It's a family laundromat. Your grandparents founded this laundromat. They bought it for, say, $500,000. 30 years ago. And the people upstairs, really good people, great people, you want to give them a very low rent because they take care of your building and you guys are just friends. So you charge them $1,000, when in reality, the market rate for that unit is $3,000. So you are technically losing $2,000. But you don't really care because you're still profiting on the laundromat and they're like family. So what this bill would essentially do is it would take your tax rate from the $500,000 that this property was worth when you purchased the property, and if the property is now worth $5 million, it would 10x your tax base. So if you are paying $3,775 per year, so about $3,100 or about $310 per month, if they reassess the property now at $5 million, your rate would be $37,750. Well, now your laundromat is really struggling as well because you not only are paying 10x your property taxes and getting depressed rents, but also not as many people are getting their suits dry cleaned and taken care of. You have less customers coming in, so your business is failing, and now you could likely lose your property, your family-owned business. And Mark Zuckerberg is laughing all the way to the bank because ultimately how this would happen, it would happen in grand scale, and it would allow him an opportunity to put the market in such a depressed state to where he can run out there and start acquiring so many assets at discount rates. So let's just go through this bill so you understand the full context of how this works. It's called Prop 15. And Prop 15, they wouldn't go after single family homes. They would not go after 2, 3, 4 unit buildings. It's commercial buildings valued at what they believe is over $3 million. So they would literally assign a task force that would go out there and appraise and assess all of these properties. It's backed by Gavin Newsom, if that means anything. But the real issue here is, you have a lot of donors that are trying to fight this, but really Zuckerberg is the main person that is supporting this. Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan have raised $10.9 million so far to execute and get this going for Prop 15. So that being said, if this does pass, we're going to see a lot of the culture, a lot of the family-owned businesses basically have to leave. California already has the highest taxes in the country, and people are leaving anyway. So if this does happen, we're going to just see massive change coming to the state of California. And I think ultimately California is a great place that has a lot of diversity. You have a lot of Latinos, you have a lot of Asians, you have just a lot of just different types of people here. And I think all those backgrounds and nationalities and cultures, it kind of breeds together and brings a really cool history that is LA. And so if you're pushing out a lot of these property owners that have owned properties for generations and bringing their tax bases up at a point in time where already people are not paying rent at the levels that they used to pay, and the economy is in the toilet. Really, if you take out the stimulus, you take out the unemployment, you take out these benefits, you'll see the real true state of the economy. So I think that this Prop 15 would be a disaster for the everyday small business owner or just the person that's going to inherit a property or two. So I hope that it does not pass. I really do, because I like California. At least I did. I'm kind of on the fence with it now. But it seems like it's one crazy bill after the next that's attempting to be passed. And if one of them does pass, especially this one, we'll start to see a wave of change going throughout the state of California. So that being said, you really have to pay attention to what's happening in your state, especially this year, because you have all these locations like New York and California that are very irresponsible with the money that they receive through taxes. And no matter how much money that they have or how much money they can generate, it will never be enough because the overall structures and the what they want to offer compared to what they're able to offer is unrealistic. So it's kind of like a boat, or more like a yacht with a massive hole at the bottom. And rather than repairing the hole, they just take a bucket and they're just trying to pour the water out. And it will never solve the overall issue. That's California for you. So drop your comments below. What do you think? Do you think that this would, do you think this is the time to pass Prop 15? Or do you think it's just a foolish idea for us to move forward and do something like this? Hit that like button as well, and subscribe for more real estate, business, and personal finance content. All right, guys, see you in the next video.